I would like to congratulate the winner of Hit It Hard 4 to open up the show. And also, runner-up of Hit It Hard 3. And I also want to de-gratulate him for the Bama loss we had to take last night.
Oh my gosh, that hurts me so bad. But
Happy New Year, my friend. We've done this for 18 and 19 weeks.
Yes.
And it's been quite the journey.
And many more.
Yeah, it's not ending. Just because we, maybe our viewership isn't what we want it to be, I'm still proud of what we've done this year.
Oh, yeah, man.
I have great news. The equipment is in. We have capacity for 4 people to podcast plus a soundboard now. I just gotta go pick it up from my mom's. Okay, I don't have stuff sent here.
But the good news, though, I mean, we're expanding.
Yeah.
If you will. We're gonna have more people on here. We're gonna be talking about more things, more sports, whatever, really. You know?
I mean, this is a celebration week for us. I mean, if you're betting Week 18 football, prayers to you, my friend. It's, the opposite of Week 1.
Right. That could be a slippery slope for people.
Yeah, like, you better know what the hell you're talking about when betting this week, and I'm going to lay it out. I didn't have the greatest betting season.
Oh, neither did I, as you guys already know.
Yeah, and I'm going to cool it down for a while. I'm still going to be here providing content. Andre's going to be here with me as well, providing content.
Yes.
But I won't be betting as heavily, but I will give my leans and picks out to anyone who wants to listen. And this is what I do enjoy doing. This is a great hobby I have. And,
man, we both love it, man.
Yeah, like this is, there's weeks I've been here and don't want to do this, but this is definitely one of the weeks I absolutely need to be here doing this.
Oh, yes. Playoffs are right around the corner, too. That's exciting time.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I mean. Like, this is the tune-up.
Yes. Won't be as many teams, as we all know, but we can really kind of focus on the games a lot more, and have a bit more insight as far as detail.
Because, like, we watch the good teams. We're not here for some of these games this week. I'll be honest, we're going to just go down the line after we talk about the key games. But we're going to first talk about Bama and Michigan. What is your reaction, Dre?
Well, when the game first started, man, I just noticed the line of scrimmage, man. Michigan they dominated both sides, man, of the line of scrimmage. And I felt like that was a problem. I'm like, oh, my goodness. But I still felt good at the half because although Michigan dominated, it was, 10-13?
Yep.
It was a really close game. So I'm like, okay, Alabama can make some adjustments. I didn't like any of Alabama's offensive, plays at all. I think Tommy Rees, he was disappointing last night because he didn't put his quarterback in a situation to win, I felt like,
Do you believe that the Michigan cheating scandal might have changed his playbook for a game like this? Because I truly believe like they had to change everything up, and they had a month's notice.
Yes, I think they did, yeah. That's a good point.
They had to disguise things, I believe.
Yeah, and that is a very good point. And, another thing about this, I don't think Tommy Rees has the experience in a big game like this, because I've seen his whole career. When he was at Notre Dame, I know they didn't have the talent like they do at Alabama, but I noticed his play calling was rather, I don't know, it was soft. He didn't play to the strengths of the team. I mean, he didn't call the plays for strength of the team.
Yeah, I mean, once you've seen the line of them losing the battle at the line of scrimmage was crazy, in my opinion. And when they're getting that much pressure,
yeah,
I mean, you have to basically play out of the gun at that point.
Mm-hmm. And they still were getting them in the gun too, though.
They were getting
crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know why they didn't run more. Honestly,
it was like forced runs. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was bad. And then he was not passing the quarterback for Alabama.
I think he went 8-19. Jalen
Milroe, yeah. It was just like, what are y'all doing? Because there were guys that were open. Sure. He didn't have enough time, or the execution was off. It was ugly, but
and special teams for Michigan, how poorly they played, kept them in the game.
Yes, it did.
And special teams on Bama kept them in the game as well. I mean,
True.
Rickard, I think was his name, right? He was kicking like 53 yarders.
Oh my goodness, man, he had a great night.
To go up 2013 with 2 minutes left, the defense let him down.
The defense did lead them down.
Cooked, and then in OT they got cooked too.
Yeah.
And I think both of us going into overtime were like, it's not good.
Because I knew that Alabama was going to have problems moving the ball, scoring. I already knew that. I was like, oh my God, let me hedge my bet. But I stuck with it, and I lost, and I almost cried. But let's give Michigan credit. Michigan has a great defense. JJ made some plays.
Correct.
Their running back core played really well.
Their run concepts.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, they did the same thing against Bama to Penn State.
Yeah.
And even to Ohio State, I mean, they were running the same concepts there.
Same stuff.
No one can stop that. Even with Zinter out, like that was unstoppable.
Yeah, exactly. Their offensive line is pretty awesome. And I thought that Alabama would be able to do something in terms of their defensive line.
Yeah, I did too, because me and you, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah,
and it looked like the secondary was playing decent those first couple series. I thought it was a pick right away. It wasn't,
Right.
And I'm gonna be honest, the referee job in that game, one of the best I've seen all year. Let them boys play.
Yeah, man.
And I'm just happy the honor was restored to a historic event like the Rose Bowl.
Yes.
Even though it didn't happen on our side, I also want to credit ourselves and give forethought to, man, when you see the line, like, this is why we look up betting percentages. And you know that. I warned both of us. That's why I said I'm decreasing my bet on this. This is just entertainment. I was horrified once I seen Alabama go to 2.5 because it felt like the book was tipping me off.
Yeah, they was telling us something, man.
And all of the money was on Alabama. Why am I getting the extra point? That's usually a sign. I want to continue to try and educate people on why lines move the way they do.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, man. And I knew it, but I was just like, okay, the line does look a little suspicious, but hey, I'm already in.
I couldn't pull.
Let's just run with it.
Yeah, like it was 20-13. I was like, I think I'm all right. I think my 2 is good.
They drove down that field, man. They had like 4 minutes. Michigan just drove down the field.
Yeah,
like, oh my goodness, man!
Masterclass.
Play, yeah. That when JJ threw that ball and the lineman tipped it a little bit, I was like, oh, this is a play right here. He didn't tip it enough. I felt like too, like if he hadn't have tipped it, it might have been an interception too. He might have overthrown that.
Yeah, who knows?
But it was Michigan's night. And I think Michigan. What do you think about the Michigan-Washington matchup? I know we haven't talked about the Washington-Texas game. I didn't really see that game because I was so very frustrated.
I watched till it was 14-14. I heard it was an awesome game too and very entertaining all the way to the end.
Right.
I will disclose that I did not bet it, even though we were both on the right side. If you go back to the video, over 63.5 did hit.
Yes.
I gave you guys that, and we both gave you Washington 4, I believe.
Yep, and that happened. Well, they won.
And they won, and even if they lost, they were covering that game. So
yeah,
that's what we're here talking about.
Well, quickly, do you think that that Michigan wins this game? I know it's -4.5, I believe, Michigan right now.
For me, initially, I think Michigan stomps them.
Okay.
I think Michigan wins by 20, and I had my doubts about Bama because it's like that's the narrative, I suppose, of like, Harbaugh in bowl games has been terrible. Saban in bowls has been awesome. But, I mean, their personnel, even without the cheating, they have an awesome team.
They do.
They have a great team.
Yeah.
And the pro style offense, it works. It can work at a college level. And now they're going against a team that's anti that. They are literally the most college team you'll watch all year. I really enjoy watching Washington. And I think it'll be fun until it's not.
Yeah, I think Michigan will eventually probably blow those boys out. I think it might be close at the half.
Yeah.
But, you know, the pro style offense, the physicality also. I thought that Michigan was more physical than Alabama, which really was like, wow.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen them all year. We know how physical they are, but Alabama, and I know Alabama's team is not the Alabama teams of old. You know, they're not as good.
Well, me and you both agreed they probably shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Exactly.
I still think Georgia should have been there.
Yeah, I think Georgia would have gave Michigan a better game.
And they couldn't give Florida State the right there after, the loss of their quarterback. So, and I'm so glad it's going to be a 12-team format.
I know, right? Yeah, we'll see some different stuff next season.
And then everyone will get mad when like a 12-0 Liberty gets to play Oregon, and then they get fucking killed.
They get killed. Yeah, we probably see a lot of like blowouts. Or just, not evenly matched games. But who knows though? This is college football. It's all about matchups, really.
Yeah.
In every football game.
It's 12. It's 12-team playoff, right? I'm not tripping. 12 teams, so what? The 4 teams get a bye, and then the other 8 teams play.
I'm not sure how they're gonna do the bye.
That sounds right.
It sounds like it makes sense though. They're not gonna,
I don't know if they're eliminating games off the schedule then for that.
Probably not. You know how
it's all about money.
It's money. Yeah, they're greedy, man. The more games, the merrier.
Yeah. 12 teams is kind of crazy though. Like I figured 8 was fine.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have argued at like 9-10 this year.
Yeah.
Because I still think like a team like Ohio State should compete for a title.
I felt like Ohio State, they probably shouldn't have been one of the 4, but I felt like
they should be one of the 8.
They definitely should be one of the 8.
Yeah.
So it's going to make it more interesting. It's going to be more competitive, I believe, and it's just going to be more up for grabs too, because you have those extra couple games. It could be injuries that could throw some things off. Anything. So it's going to be fun to watch.
And
hats off to Michigan, man. I'm not a hater of Michigan, but I'm not a lover.
Huge hater. I hate them as a state boy, but I will, reserve my feelings for betting. Because again, another tip: be neutral about what you bet.
Yeah. I felt like we were on the right before that spread came out, the new spread. I felt like we were on the right team. But
hey,
I guess we weren't.
Books sometimes try to tell you something. I think that's enough time on this.
Oh, yeah. We can move on.
All right. We will go to NFL.
All right.
This is the most meaningless week of the year, except 3 games. And we get 2 good Saturday games. We will start the first game out with Pittsburgh going on the road to Baltimore. Baltimore automatically the 1 seed after beating Miami this past weekend. They are 3.5-point dogs because they are unsure if their whole team is playing. I'm not giving you under-overs this week. It's plain and simple. Most of these games, I really don't care about. But we're doing this for ourselves, for our records. I went 10-6 last week. What'd you do, Dre?
I think I went 10-6 too.
Nice.
Honestly, it's one of my better weeks.
Yeah, you've had some. Yeah, when it's bad for you, it's been bad. But hey, at least you're not betting every game.
No, I'm not. So, I didn't even have any locks last week for some reason.
Gave you the Bears. We wanted to give you the Lions, but we didn't. I was close. We were close, but we gave you the Bears.
Yeah, we'll go over that Lions game once we go over their game.
Yeah,
they play, but
we'll talk about it. But yeah, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Lamar. I think these guys play a half for Baltimore.
Okay, all right.
Pittsburgh already achieved what they wanted. They got another winning season under Tomlin. So anyone who thinks his job is in jeopardy, especially what he's working with a third string quarterback in, you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
Get you stupid fans.
I know, right?
Dolts.
And then do some history about the Steelers. They just don't get rid of their coach like that, you know. And you know, that's a testament to them because they always hire the right coach.
Yeah.
that has, you know, his long standing. The coach does a good job, you know. So there is no reason to fire him. And hell no, they're not going to fire him.
No.
And I think they covered the spread. I really do. It sounds crazy because it's Baltimore, but Baltimore, like you said, they may play a half, the starters, Lamar Jackson especially. But I think Pitt knows they need to win this game. Okay.
Hey, don't forget, Baltimore lost to Pitt earlier in the year. Pittsburgh still very small chance to make the playoffs. They're not eliminated.
Right.
I think eliminating a division foe you might see down the line is important because you already have another one of your division foes in the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah.
I will take Baltimore 3.5 here, even though I think it's very ugly, and I would pass on this.
Yeah, I'm not putting any money on this game.
Yeah, straight up. Straight up, all entertainment this week. There's one I might bet on, and it's going to be a small bet. Do we want to go to the AFC South matchup on Saturday?
Yeah.
All right, Houston on the road at your Indianapolis Colts. Colts are a 1-point dog here. Colts beat them earlier this year on the road by 11, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on this game? Because I lean Indianapolis.
I do too.
Whoa! Man.
Surprise, huh?
Shock. I think we should go back. It's like me and Buffalo and the Lions. Well, I think me and you give the Lions out almost every single week. Besides, I think the Bears game, we were both like, no.
Right.
And, yeah. I was on the Carolina one I passed on. You were there for him the whole year.
I really was.
But we're talking Indian. Houston?
I think Colts... You know, they
I think they do it too.
They do it. This might be a lock for me too. Offensively, they win this game. You know, their defenses. I mean, even their D line, which was one of their strong suits, I felt like it has not been playing well, and we already know about their secondary. However, I think they get it done offensively. They're at home. They know how big of a game this is.
Honestly. They have a weird home field advantage.
They do.
And that's something I think me and you have discussed over the last few years of doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like them at home when it comes to betting them.
Yeah.
That is my main reason for leaning this game.
I would have to concur with you, man.
Hell yeah.
And they're not even a favorite.
Yeah, not even yeah.
Weird. With that being said, though, Houston, it's a reason that this game is so... the spread is only 1.5 because this is probably going to be a close game. You know, it's going to be a good game to watch. But I'm leaning Colts.
I think the winner of this game is in the playoffs.
They're in the playoffs automatically.
Automatically.
So this is for all the marbles. Yes.
That is why it got moved to primetime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I like that they do the flex schedule at the end of the year to kind of put the important games, where they deserve to be.
Mm-hmm.
And we can talk about the Sunday night flexed matchup because this is the biggest game on the slate. It's the biggest game of the year. It has weird, incredible implications because if Buffalo loses, they could be very well out of the playoffs. But if they win, they're a 2 seed.
They win the division, right?
They win the division and they're a 2 seed and they get 2 home playoff games.
Big game, man. Real big game.
It makes you feel stupid for losing that Denver game for too many men on the field or giving a Mac Jones 92-yard drive to win a game in October or...
Yeah. Those games they should have won is coming back to haunt them, basically.
Yeah.
And that's how this thing goes.
Exactly. Josh Allen suffered a stinger in his neck on the left side in the win on Sunday. He should be good to go. They're going to mark him as questionable. He'll be limited in capacity, but this man's going to be ready for the game, believe me. The line is 3 here, and I'm going to tell everyone betting the 3 is kind of silly to me. personally, I'm taking it. That's just me. But me and you, I caught wind of this earlier with Pittsburgh winning and Jacksonville winning and Buffalo losing. Buffalo's out of the playoffs. Plain and simple. There's like 20 other scenarios.
It is.
But that one seems the most likely to happen. And I think if you were to bet the Dolphins to win, why not just bet Buffalo to miss the playoffs as well as a small stake or, some sort of play on that game? Because by that time, you'll know.
Yeah. So there's different types of ways to bet this game too. Then is what you're saying.
Exactly, because you're betting on them to choke, which in primetime this year they've been pretty bad. They've won the games, but they've been rough watches every single time.
And they usually have not covered the spread either, right?
Didn't cover against the Jets. Didn't cover against Tampa Bay. Definitely didn't cover against the Giants.
Right.
Lost against the Jaguars. I don't know if you want to call a 9:30 London game a primetime game. I do.
Yeah.
And then I think they had primetime against Cincinnati. They also lost. Didn't cover that 3. They lost by 6. So, and then, I don't call 425 games primetime. They might be the main game of the slate.
Right.
But they've been hot. I continue to believe in them. And I think they win this game, man. They fucking own these guys earlier in the year. And losing Nick Chubb might be just what they needed to get that ground game going again. They were, I think Belichick always has prepped for the Bills more than anyone. And he wanted that game Sunday. And they did not give it to him, and that 4-minute drive at the end of the game was just a masterclass in, winning a tough game.
That was a tough game. I mean, like you said, I think Belichick, he really he wants, how Belichick is too, man. I mean, with the disaster of a season that they've had, he wants to, at least, maybe rain on people's parade.
Yep.
But I like Buffalo to win by the spread. Like you said, they own the Dolphins. The Dolphins, though, do they have anything to play for? Is their seed set in stone?
It's weird for them because they're in, but they don't know where they're at on the board. And why wouldn't they want to eliminate a division rival, especially after getting embarrassed last? They got embarrassed in that game, guys.
They did, yeah. I think there's something about momentum also. You don't want to go into the playoffs limping.
Yeah, and
so they're going to play hard. But I just think Buffalo has their number.
I think they've won the last 9 to 10.
Yeah.
And that one they lost, they probably should have won that game. It was a very close game. It was last year in Miami.
Right.
But that was also the beginning of the year, and the Bills' sideline was 105 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
So a little home field advantage. Not at this time in December. I think the Bills are very happy to come in September weather for us Bills fans. So I love Buffalo in this spot. I won't bet it. I'm gonna be devastated if they lose this game and miss the playoffs. My futures depend on it.
Okay. It does. Yeah, I forget.
I couldn't envision them missing the playoffs in this type of year where there's so many key injuries, and I think it would be an easier AFC to win in past. Mm-hmm. Especially with flaws to the Chiefs, Cincinnati not having Joe Burrow, and Jacksonville looking like shit.
This is Buffalo's time to shine, man, and I think they've gotten better in these last, well, not better, but they're playing better football in these last few games, and this is when you need to start peaking. Okay, so it's either sink or swim for them in this particular game, and I think they're gonna swim. I do.
I think so. It's winning on the road is tough. You hope it's just a clean game and nothing happens like the Detroit game. Right. Because that would just be their luck. And I love watching bad football. I love watching bad basketball, and I'm glad my teams are finally better, except the Pistons.
They got that one dub though. to break the 27 game losing
20
streak.
Was it 27 or 28? It's 28, I thought. Yeah, 28.
Okay, we'll go 28.
It don't matter. It's disgraceful.
It doesn't matter.
Disgraceful either way. But yeah, I wouldn't ever be like, this is the bet to make on a week. Even though this is the biggest game, Miami could cover this game and it could be 30-31.
Yeah.
That's just the way I feel about it. I hold the right to feel that way, especially as someone who I think I've watched most of Buffalo's games this year. I missed a few, but hey, man, I can't. It's not like it used to be. I can't watch every game, every moment of the day.
Right. Now, do you think if this is a shootout, do you think that is in Buffalo or Miami's favor? Like a high scoring affair.
I think it's in Miami's favor.
Yeah.
But Buffalo's been a lot better on takeaways recently.
Okay.
And the status of Jalen Waddle is definitely key because you can key in on Tyreek at that point.
Yes.
But also it's definitely about stopping the run game because in the past Mostert has ran for 125 yards on them in multiple occasions.
Is he going to play? I thought he was hurt.
We'll see. Devin Ashane, also, that kid's a stud.
Yeah.
It's like, it's weird because you see Jahmyr Gibbs picked very early.
Yeah.
In a draft, and then this kid comes out of the 6th round, 5th round. He's pretty good.
That's usually how the running back position can go too.
Oh, for sure.
It's just it's you may get a star in the 5th round for sure.
Absolutely. That's the position. That's my thoughts on that. I think we need to go to the other 3 kind of important games of the week. We'll start it out with Atlanta going on the road to New Orleans. New Orleans, a 3.5-point favorite. Man. The rest of these games, I really don't care about. There's some playoff implication. I think we have to stick to our guns and the oath we made to each other about picking every game this year. This is it. We have 9 more games to pick for the year. But guess what? We're not done. Playoffs are coming next week. I need everyone to view this. I need everyone to share. I need everyone to like and subscribe. You know why? Because it's going to be good content. I think we're giving good content right now. And people, I know the holidays are here. But we're your new favorite show. Y'all just don't know it yet.
Right. And it's not a holiday show.
Exactly. Playoff show.
It was, yeah. Playoffs, man. Oh my gosh, man. This is the best time of the year, though, honestly. You got your NFL playoffs. Your college football playoffs are still here, so to speak.
College basketball starting to rev up.
Basketball, NBA basketball. We're going to have NBA playoffs. Well,
hockey, if you like it. Guess what? Like golf season kicks off. Century champion tournament. I might make this guy talk about golf with me.
Hey, I'm going to do my research.
Hey, I don't think he knows 20 players in the PGA.
I don't. You'd be hard. You fought for me to get 2 players out of my mouth. But we gotta do it though.
I've given him names and he's just like, okay. And then they hit top 5s for me. So
yeah. So there's a lot of content coming up.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this journey.
Man. Yes.
And dude, the board's gonna be sick.
So board. Yeah.
That's all I care about.
Yes.
Well, cheers to that. The rest of these games suck. I know we're on Atlanta, New Orleans, but honestly, I don't give a shit. My pick here is New Orleans 3.5. Arthur Smith.
I'll take New Orleans on that too. Right before my shot.
I had to number these games for importance this week. That's how bad it is. But again, I don't think people should be really betting these games.
Nah, just be a viewer. Don't bet. I mean, I like watching football too, but I'm not betting on every game that I see.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I'm not feeling comfortable about this at all. But I think, actually, though, I do think New Orleans covers the spread, though, honestly.
It's weird 3.5, man.
That hook. You don't like the hook?
Sometimes the hook is an indicator I think of why to bet the other team. I know it's like getting killed on a field goal is the worst thing.
Oh, man.
But also, I believe it's a thing sportsbooks want you to think about, especially people who bet constantly like us.
Right.
Because when I see the hook, I instantly am attracted to it.
Yeah, it brings me in sometimes.
Yeah, and believe me, it's burned us this year.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, if New Orleans wins, Tampa Bay loses, they are the NFC South champions. And they'll probably play Dallas or Philly in the playoffs. So, good luck to them because everyone's probably betting against them in that game.
Right.
Like, automatically the last few years, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And it's going to happen again, so good luck. Have fun.
One and done, right?
One and done. Yep. Let's go to the Bears going on the road. The Packers. Bears have big resurgence, even though they're out of it. They also own the number 1 pick, so I think it's cool that they're still playing hard. Mm-hmm. And they're sacrificing a potential other top 10 pick for being a spoiler.
Yes, because if Green Bay wins, they're in, right? Automatically.
If Green Bay wins, they are in automatically. I believe that is the case. However, I like the Bears to cover this game and possibly win. Justin Fields is guys are playing for their jobs. The defense is gelled the last few weeks.
Yeah.
I love them.
I'm going to take the Bears on this, too. I think they could play spoilers. They like playing spoilers, too.
Yeah.
They could go, what are they now as far as their record?
7-9?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't go 500, but 8 games is something. I didn't see them winning 8 games before the season started.
Especially once they were like 1-5.
Right.
I didn't. Yeah, because what they didn't. Were they winless until Washington?
I believe
so. They whooped Washington.
They did. That was their coming out party. So a little bit, I guess.
It was over already for them, but
right.
They've showed life. I think they have a bright future. Even though I think the Lions are still the juggernaut and the team to beat, watch out for the Bears in the next few years, especially if they don't give up on Justin Fields.
Yes, and I feel like Justin Fields is trying to play to stay.
Yeah.
Or even to get to a good team. Who knows? But he's been playing pretty good.
I think he gets a bad rap, honestly.
I think that's from the Chicago media, though, also.
Yeah. Well, the media is crazy every single week. Look at the MVP race. Honestly, Lamar deserves the MVP now, but I mean, we could look at the last 6 weeks. I think there was a different name every single week.
Yeah, true.
Like it was, at one point they were talking about Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill, Brock Purdy, Dak got a week, Tua got a week.
Yeah, he did.
And now we're at Lamar here, so Well, I think even Jalen Hurts might have got a week too. Honestly,
Hurts was in there, for a little bit. I think Lamar has separated himself from everybody based off of how he played against San Fran last week.
They're 5 touchdown passes.
Yeah,
that's
separation right there.
And he has over 3,700 yards on the season passing. I believe he's rushed for 700, leading all quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I don't think Allen has more touchdowns than him, but I mean. His production on the field, even losing Andrews, it's been
lose Andrews, man,
remarkable.
Oh, so he's phenomenal.
For all this shit he gets for not being like the guy, he really is the guy. And
he's the guy.
Every team passed on him and giving him a contract, except the Ravens. The Ravens did, stay true to their word, and
they BS for a little bit.
They did too. They did,
but they eventually paid him.
Guess what? Though they're reaping the benefits of it because they have the number 1 seed in the AFC. You can't ask for any more than that besides the title.
Yeah. And what I've noticed about Lamar is that he's really matured, it seems like, in terms of his game and just his overall, persona, whatever.
Stays in the pocket.
Yeah, he's getting it. He gets it. You know what I mean? So they've had injuries. They don't have the best receivers in my opinion. They got some decent receivers. But
I would say they're bottom 10 in receiving core.
It's all about Lamar. Lamar is making that thing happen, man.
Yeah,
so
the running games
my MVP.
and the running games. Yeah, he's my MVP too.
Yeah,
I think that is appropriate to say. Even though love you JA17, you're second on my list.
Right on.
Even if they win and he throws 500 yards, I think Lamar deserves MVP. Let's go. Man, what other game do we have here? Jacksonville, Tennessee. Jacksonville needs this game. If they win the game, I believe they win the division.
Yes.
They're 5.5-point favorites here. Do you like them to cover this against Tennessee on the road?
I do. Tennessee has just, I've lost faith in them.
Hasn't everyone though?
Yeah, they have.
And aren't we at the Devil's number?
That is the Devil's number, but I'll take the Devil this time.
I'm taking Tennessee to cover. I don't think they win. Okay. Yeah, Malik Willis might have something schemed up. It's the defense for Jacksonville. It's been piss poor. They played good against Carolina. Okay, it's Carolina. David Tepper throwing drinks at the crowd. It's literally.
Well, what I slept on too was that Tannehill is back.
Tannehill is back. Yeah.
I was like, damn, Tannehill.
Okay, worst organization. Carolina or the Detroit Pistons? Who's worse off right now? Because it has to be Carolina to me.
I'm gonna take the Pistons, man. The only reason I say that is because Carolina has a rookie quarterback. Dude, give me a break, I don't. You can't expect much, and they've actually won a game.
They traded they traded DJ Moore in the number 1 pick.
I know that was.
They traded a bunch of picks.
They did.
I don't know
to get him. Yeah.
The Pistons lost Wemby because of the rules of the
draft
lottery.
Was in the NBA, yeah, the lottery. But the only reason I say that too, though, is because the Pistons were supposed to be an up and coming team, though. You know what I mean? Like they did have certain players in place, so they were supposed to be better than what 2-29 or whatever.
Yeah, 3-30.
3-30. 3. Yeah, you have 3 games.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be a lot better than this, man. With Carolina, we all knew that Carolina wasn't going to do much.
They won 7 games last year. They traded Christian McCaffrey for this.
Yeah, they did.
It's bad, man. They fired 3 coaches in the last 3 years. I don't think it's the coach. They wanted to draft not Bryce Young. They wanted to draft C.J. Stroud over Bryce Young, too. And guess who didn't listen? David Tepper.
That's looking bad right now.
And you're the new Dan Snyder of the league, buddy.
Oh.
Hope you deserve that title. You're also probably a huge dick but you're a disconnected billionaire and
Our most billionaires.
Oh yeah, what a surprise! Or they have the power complex, the God complex, and they think they're helping the world even though they're still hurting it. Mm-hmm. Is there any more important games we got to touch real quick? I guess Carolina. Yeah, I guess we have to touch their shitty team going. Hosting Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay wins this game. They win the division. The number's 5. It's almost at the Devil's number, but how can anyone trust Carolina at this point? I'm taking Tampa Bay. They want the division. They want that playoff matchup against the Cowboys or the Eagles. That is my thoughts.
I like Tampa Bay, too. Tampa Bay discouraged me, though, last week. The way, how they lost, and they just didn't seem like they didn't come to play.
Yeah.
So I think they bounce back, and I think they do handle their business.
Hell yeah.
But I hate that 5.
I told you too. Tampa Bay too last week. That 3 was a trap number.
It was. It really was.
So the AFC or the NFC South. Apologies. Hardest. I don't think me and you have had locks on them all year except me. Tampa Bay +1 against Jacksonville.
Right.
That's the only one I think I've been like, this is it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just a funny. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's competitive or they just all these teams are just bad. You know what I mean?
They're bad. That's what I mean. They're bad teams. I can't get a grip on bad NFL teams or middling NFL teams. It's like the Titans for me. That's why I just choose not to bet them week after week, even though I will lean them at times. Right. I just will never be like that. That's the bet. That's the one. It's not. It never is.
It's not the
never
one.
Is.
No, they not jamming on the one.
Hell yeah.
They're terrible teams. Man.
So would you agree we've talked about all the pertinent NFL games?
Yeah, I think those are the important ones, man.
Sneeze real quick.
don't see anything else that. Well, what about the Seattle Arizona? Because Seattle, they have to win, or if Seattle loses, they're out of the playoffs. Okay.
It's that and the Niners Rams. So I think we'll touch Seattle Arizona first, and then I think it's hyperspeed, and we'll send everyone off on their way. I hope everyone's enjoying this, though, because I'm enjoying myself.
We both are.
All right, Dre, hyperspeed mode. You can tell the folks what you want to talk about while I pour us shots.
All right, we're going to talk about Seattle, Arizona. I do believe Seattle has to win this game. It's going to be in Arizona. 2.5 favorite Seattle. I like Arizona, man. The 2.5 is kind of misleading to me, but I think Arizona. I don't know. Seattle has not been playing good football as of late. They have not, and they always seem to. Even if they win, they seem to keep people in the game. So I'm gonna take Arizona.
Arizona just beat the Eagles. They have nothing to play for. I got them in this game too, and I think it's I'm not trying to. It's an FU to playing Seattle and wanting to knock them out. I don't know if numbers indicate that anything here. I don't try to, I try to say they do, especially when books make these kind of odds.
Yeah.
I would probably take Arizona at 5.5. That would be the number in my head.
You think it should be a 5.5 to spread then? Huh?
Correct.
Okay.
And when I see it undervalued like this, I instantly go to Arizona. That is my lean here. Would not bet it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna touch it.
Yeah.
But I feel you though.
There's Arizona for me. Rams and Niners?
Yeah, let's do Rams and Niners.
Go for it. Let the people know what's up. I'm going to start letting Andre do the intros.
It's a -3 spread. San Fran, of course, is favorite. San Fran has absolutely nothing to play for. So I'm figuring that maybe their first string plays a half.
They said they're playing the whole game, I think.
Really?
That's what Debo was saying. I don't know if that's like smoke.
Yeah, man, they better sit their ass down somewhere and not get hurt. But they already have a bye anyway, so.
Yeah, and that's.
Maybe that's.
I think teams like Baltimore and San Francisco are terrified of taking 2 weeks off before a playoff game.
Yeah.
I think that is like a real fear of teams.
You know what? I don't know the formula for that. Like, especially if you have a bye, I guess you kind of want to stay in tune with how you're playing and keep that momentum going. At the same time, though, you have to be aware of injuries. So I think maybe playing a half, maybe even maybe 3/4 of the game, maybe. You just have to stay fresh.
Yeah.
But you have to be careful though. Rams have something to play for though, don't they?
Nope, they're in.
They're already in.
They're in.
Not no seeding. They can get a better seed or what?
Nope, they will get the wild cards. What 6 seed? Because the 5 seeds already claimed for Eagles and Cowboys.
So damn, they may play the Lions. Dare I say, if they get a 6 seed.
I think that's who they're playing. So Stafford reunion. I can't wait to talk about that next week. This is why this week's been really fun because me and you get to just kind of talk about whatever. Yeah. We're just kind of we're letting loose.
You're right.
But next week's down to business.
It really is. I like I'll go San Francisco in this game. Fuck it.
I hate to say it, but I'm there too. I think they win this game. I think they want to stay fresh.
Yeah. Even
at the extent of injuries, if if Sam Darnold's in there, I think they win the game. I hate to say it.
Hey, Sam came in that last game and then didn't do bad when they were losing against Baltimore.
All right, you ready to go hyper speed mode?
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll hit this game for like 2 minutes because I think Detroit got wrong last week. Everyone knows Detroit got wrong last week. That's the hometown homies. We love our Detroit Lions in this city. They are 3-point favorites against Minnesota, and I can't even bear betting them this week. I think they should sit every single player. Take this a bye week to them. Give me Minnesota.
Yeah, I'll take Minnesota, and they were wrong. And it cost them a seeding. They could have been a number 2 seed.
It cost money to our city.
It did.
You know all the local businesses that would be open if we had a 2 seed because Philly lost. It's disgusting. And this is why I think the NFL is more like the WWE.
Yeah. I'd have to agree, man. I mean, you know, the NFL does not hold any of their refs accountable. They are part-time. You know, it's a debacle. You know, come on, this is the NFL. This is like one of the biggest markets ever in the history of America. And you have some half-ass referees?
Yep.
I mean, you got to question, like, what is the motive here, NFL? What are y'all doing?
Yeah, and it's not that I'm like, it's rigged, because I don't believe it's rigged. Everyone has their own intentions. But stuff like that, I mean, it raises so many questions. And it's just like the NBA with the Donaghy scandal. And it's just like, how do the Lions not catch a break?
Yeah.
When Dan Campbell literally told them before the game, this is what I'm running if this happens.
Yes.
And
yes.
Decker reported as eligible. And then, you know, over the loudspeaker, that's where it fucked up. They said 70 was eligible, not Decker.
Mm-hmm.
It's inconceivable, and, you know, I hope Goff doesn't get fined for his comments. And if not, I know the team's picking that check right up because he's right. Everyone is right. The refs were wrong. The league is wrong. And Roger Goodell technically has the ability to overturn the game. That just wouldn't happen.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I feel like it was really a blatant thing too. Like, and you know, okay, if you made a mistake, you made a mistake. We all make mistakes. Give an apology or something. You're like, we made a mistake. Sorry.
No, Brad Allen, nothing, man. Nothing. That's what killed me the most.
It's actually embarrassing. It should be embarrassing to the league, but the NFL knows that none of the fans are going anywhere.
Yep.
And no matter what calls have been called.
I think the betting has a big thing to do with it. That's why I stay. That's why we do this podcast, because that's where betting. If I was just here talking about the games, I would tell you every week it's bullshit.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Money is on the line.
Yeah.
Dollars are on the line.
Well, one good thing we know about this is that I believe that the Lions are the second best team in the NFC. I said it.
I agree. I think they're the best, but we'll see what happens in the playoffs.
Well, we've seen San Fran at its weakest moments, and we know that Brock Purdy isn't as good as people believe him to be. You know, if you can apply some pressure to him, which is one of Detroit's weak points, though, on the line.
True.
But
it's possible.
It's possible. I'm a little concerned with Goff in that, you know, when you put some pressure on Goff, he might do some crazy stuff too. But
yep.
I mean, listen, man. I like the coaching. I think we call Mr. Campbell Riverboat Campbell at times.
Again,
but it works for them. It works for them.
I don't fault them for what happened that night, and I don't fault them for going for it multiple times.
Right.
Because they knew they weren't winning that game in OT.
Exactly. Yeah.
So respect where, you know, respect should be due.
I can't wait to see this team in the playoffs and see what they do.
I can't wait to see them beat Stafford straight up.
I want Dallas again too, man.
That might
in Dallas.
Just give you that.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's go.
You know, Dallas is they're that team that, you know, everybody thinks that they're all that. You should have heard. And I was on social media, man. I'm listening to some of these Dallas fans. They're like, "Oh, we beat y'all fair and square." No, y'all didn't. Y'all didn't beat them. What are you talking about?
They didn't beat them.
Did they watch the same game?
No. No.
I digress, though, man. But you know, I think I do have
I got Minnesota here.
Minnesota in this game.
Yes. I do too. I just don't think it matters for Detroit. They're automatic 3 seeds, so that could be close to a lock to me, but I won't do that. Hyper speed mode. We're running out of time. We got to get y'all out of here. I got to get out of here. All right, we got a couple. We're just gonna shoot through them. Cincinnati a 6-point favorite over Cleveland. Who do you like?
Cincy.
I like Cleveland. Patriots a 2-point favorite over the Jets. Who do you like?
Give me the Jets.
Patriots for me. Chargers a 3-point favorite over Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Chargers for me. Man, I mean, you're every opposite. Vegas a 2.5-point favorite over Denver.
Give me Denver.
I'll take Vegas. I don't need to do this.
Let me take Vegas.
Oh, yeah, you Vegas? Okay. Yeah. I think that's very last game, I believe. This is the last game of the scheduled 272, and it's a lock for me. Cowboys minus 13 over the Commanders. Give me the Cowboys. Lock it in.
I'm gonna take Washington. There's one last game that we didn't cover though.
Oh shoot! What is it?
Philly Giants.
Oh, shoot! I didn't write that in. What's the spread?
5.5. Philly favors.
Philly. Easy.
I'm gonna take the Giants.
We did it, man. Hey, we did it.
Another
272. We doubled our subscriber count. Things are going slow, but hey, man, I'm glad we're on this journey together. So, cheers, man.
Cheers.
Can't wait for the playoffs and to do shows on that. The lock for me is still Cowboys minus 13.
I don't have a lock. I'm lockless.
I think, I think everyone should bet safe this week. This isn't like the week to bet.
Yeah.
Get your bankroll ready for the playoffs.
No doubt. Yeah, that's where you want to go hard. And,
I think ours is ready for that.
Yeah. I've had a pretty decent few weeks. I've been betting college football.
Dude,
well, not
this man's NBA picks every single day. He's telling me
NBA. I've been hard on NBA, and I got over on the future picks for football, NFL football. So I got a little bankroll, just a little bit. I lost some on that fucking college football game though. But it's all good. You can't win them all, I guess.
Hey, win some, lose some.
Right.
Again, I think the worst people in betting, I know probably no one will watch this, hear this, whatever it might be, the worst people in betting media are the people who believe they win every single bet they make. Yeah. And I want to tell people you don't win every single bet you make. In fact, if you hit 52% of your bets on minus 110, you're awesome. Mm-hmm. And I commend you, and I hope I get to talk and have discourse with you. And Dre, too.
Yes.
We're available at all times to talk sports. We love talking any sort of sport. And we don't care if we're deemed stupid either. Like, please tell me I'm wrong. I know you, like...
I love it.
I'd rather have people tell me I'm wrong and I can maybe right my wrong.
Right. Yeah, the criticism is warranted, and, we take it and we try to make it a positive and see what we can do better.
We just shouldn't have bet Bama.
We shouldn't have. We're learning from that mistake. Forget Bama.
The tradition is done.
Well, one good thing about this is that there will not be an SEC winner in the championship, so we're going to either get a Big 10 or a Pac-10.
State.
Pac-12,
Big
12.
If Michigan wins it all, I can't live it down as a State fan.
Yes.
That's why I'm rooting Washington for that reason, but I really think Michigan wins it all.
I think they do.
But on the flip side, they might get their title vacated.
Because of all the controversy with the...
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Those are my thoughts and mine alone.
I always wanted Notre Dame to win a national championship before Michigan wins another one, but I guess that's not going to happen.
We don't. Hey.
Unless Washington comes, hard.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great game still.
Time will tell.
Yes.
I want to thank you, Andre, for 18 to 19 weeks of showing up, doing the job, giving picks even if they ain't winners. That's what matters to me the most. I want to thank anyone who listens to this, and I want to thank everyone who will listen in the future that will give us actual peace of mind. And even if you would troll and talk shit, I ain't mad.
Right.
Me and Dre are out of here. Peace
Thank
out,
you,
y'all.
too. And thank you, guys.
Yeah, playoffs next week. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hell fucking yeah.
Great show. That show had to have been like an hour and 15.
I think it's around like 55.
Okay.
It wasn't crazy.